All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth. And Shalom to the hopeful elect, the Akim and the Akwaf scattered around the four corners of the planet Earth. All right, this is GMS Dallas. I'm the brother Iraq.
I'm the brother Bishop Kwama.
And we wanted to go into a quick lesson. All right, go into a quick lesson. All right, and per usual, the main idea of the subject, that's going to be covered is prophecy, man.
Prophecy.
This truth is all about the will of the Lord playing out on the planet Earth. All right, or in other words, prophecy. So we wanted to bring out a few precepts through the Spirit, a couple articles, and Lord's willing, this is edifying. Did you have anything you want to open up with?
I'm going to start at Revelation 19:10.
Okay, I'll pull it for you. This is the book of Revelations, chapter 19 and verse 10. It's locked here in my laptop. It says, Revelations 19, I'll start at verse 9. It says, and he saith unto me, right, blessed are they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb. And he saith unto me, these are the true sayings of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua.
It says, read that first part again, Yahushua.
Okay, this is Revelation chapter 9 and verse 10, or verse 9. It says, and he saith unto me, right, blessed are they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb.
So who is called to the marriage supper of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua and the elect of the nation of Israel? All right, it is the elect. The elect are those that are going to take a point on everything that's happening in this society.
Yep.
Okay, they're going to be the eyes and ears of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Okay, continue on.
Verse 10, it says, and I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua. Worship the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy.
Because we're giving all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. All right, because he deserves all things, because he died for the elect's sake. Okay, and it says, Lucy. It says, read the last half of that.
It says, I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy.
For the testimony of Yahushua, test these. Only a man can prophesy. Okay, the testimony of Yahweh is the spirit of prophecy. Okay, and prophecy, is something to say before. Okay, so just like the men of Yahweh out here on the highways and byways, week in and week out, toiling in these precepts to get the inkling of Yahweh to bestow it unto you. Okay, these are the things that are happening behind the scenes, but the spirit which is in every brother and every man sees all things through the spirit and power of Yahushua. Like this lesson is about to be brought out right now.
Yep.
I'll show you guys.
Yep. That word testimony, when you get it, it's a Strong's G3141. Martyria. It says Strong's definition: evidence given, record, report, testimony, witness.
So that means in that inquisition that's being made on the hell that Esau Edom has befall Jake down here on the side. That testimony, is a part of the protection for the elect. Okay, but
Yeah, like brothers say, we're in witness protection.
Witness protection.
Because we're Yahweh Shai, gave that testimony, and we're testifying today on a lower level.
Yeah.
But still, what we're doing is ushering in prophecy.
Come on.
It's ushering in, the judgment that the Most High had prescribed.
So let's go through the list of everything that has happened, or everything that has happened in these last trying times and days.
Kind.
Okay, because how about Shemi Shai has been at work? What's that scripture? Now it's time for you to work. Oh, yeah, how about Shemi Shai? Well, he's putting in a beautiful play.
Yep.
Day after day.
Yep.
But you got it.
I got an article held, if you want to go into it, the Pope Francis. Yep, this is on apnews.com. It says, man, let me let the webpage load a little bit. God damn. I think it's time to replace this one. But anyways, on the apnews.com, it says Pope Francis, first Latin American pontiff who ministered with a charming, humble style, dies at 88.
So, Pope Francis, right, which we know that this man was not righteous at all. He was given the role. Okay, the Most High didn't appoint him. Okay, loosely paraphrasing, I believe it talks about in Exodus how the Most High is going to set up one that is profitable before you of your own nation. Okay, going into
Deuteronomy 18.
Is that
one of your brethren shall raise up one?
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Talking about the king.
Can I pull that? Is that cool?
Shot.
Yeah, let me pull that real quick. I was actually reading that not too long ago. This is Deuteronomy chapter 18 and verse. I'm gonna read verse 10 and then I'm gonna jump down. Or not 10. I'm gonna read 15. I'm gonna read 15 and then I'll jump down to 18. Deuteronomy 18 and 15. It says, Yahweh thy power will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, and of thy brethren like unto thee, or like unto me, unto him ye shall hearken.
See, how about Shemi Shai is going to raise him up. He's not going to be appointed, all right, and he's not going to be Edomite. He's going to be one of your own nation.
Yep.
Continue, bro. You got it.
Verse 18, laying back on your point. It says, I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him.
See, and everything that Yahweh Shemi Shai has done, was to help benefit the nation of Israel. But over there in Italy, this Pope, which that's his role as a king. All right, mm-hmm. He's the king over there. All right, and that I think it's like a 4-mile square or 10-mile square.
Vatican City.
Yeah, Vatican City. Whenever he decrees something, it goes out worldwide. Mm-hmm. Okay, and so that means that his words hold weight. Right? Mm-hmm. His words hold weight for his little country and for other countries around the world.
Yep.
All right. Yep. And he's like unto a president.
Yeah, he's basically a big ass idol.
Yeah, a huge ass idol.
He's a giant idol, and he's he's the figurehead for basically Chesney B. And, white Christianity, man. That's all he is. But for the Northern Kingdom. Because really, it'd be the Northern Kingdom that'd be bugged out on like Catholic shit.
Yeah, because Catholic means
universal.
It's
like,
all right, now you get it.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that goes into the three frogs. But we ain't got.
Yep. I was gonna mention that too. Yeah. I wanted to read the quick definition. This is on the King James Bible Dictionary. The definition of idol. When you go to the Easton's Bible, I guess it references other Bibles. It says Hebrew. It says nothingness, vanity. It says a thing of naught, and that's exactly what these idols are. Especially this guy that just died. So-called Pope. You know, really in reality, he's just a figure on the left hand side. You know,
He's like Trump.
Because like we were talking about before this, he died on Easter.
Yeah, he died on Easter, their so-called holy day. Okay, that's the day that they think that rabbits lay eggs.
Mm-hmm.
That's the day that they think is holier than every other day.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Christmas.
Yep.
In the spring.
Yep. I'll continue. I'll read a little bit of this. We don't got to get it all. He ain't even worth it. It says Vatican City, AP, Pope Francis, histories. Man, here they go with this bogus ass. Come on. Pope Francis, history's first Latin American pontiff, who charmed the world with his humble style and concern for the poor, but alienated conservatives with critiques of capitalism and climate change.
So
he died Monday. He was 88.
So they're trying to big him up. They're trying to, see, he was the best thing going.
He's supposed to be concerned for the poor, but he wasn't telling you, Jakes, you were the Israelites.
Nope. And we are the true poor, it says in Revelations chapter 2 and 10, and it goes on in the Revelation 3 and 10.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Because the true lowly and decrepit people on this planet is you, Jake, you so-called Black Latinos, Native Americans, and Negroid descent, because you don't know who you are. All right, and you don't know who your enemy is, and that's why your enemy plays with you with these semantics.
Yep. You guys, I got something backing up the point that was brought out. The poor, when you read about the poor and the needy in the scriptures, that's talking about Jake.
Yeah.
It's talking about Israelites and all of us because we're all under the curses.
Yeah.
This is Deuteronomy 28 and 68. It says, "And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships," talking about Babylon the Great. All right, spiritual Sodom and Egypt. America is written in code, all throughout the scriptures.
If I may say, because Egypt is pretty much walking distance to Israel. Right. So if you were going back into bondage again, we would just walk there whenever the transatlantic slave trade happened. Mm-hmm. Where most Jakes came over here to the shores of America or Babylon the Great.
A lot of Southern Kingdom.
And then on top of that, a lot of Northern Kingdom was transferred over to Seville, Spain, which is the reverse slave capital of the world. Mm. So you Jakes are the ones that are in the lowly position. Yep. Y'all are still under captivity to this day because y'all still don't know who y'all are.
Yep.
But you got it.
Yeah. And then even in second and third world countries, you got, these so-called, caste systems, these basically, so-called color-based, hierarchies, or social, structures. But really, it's all about subjecting Israelites. That's what it's about. Because as the scriptures do say, we were scattered amongst the heathen. So we're everywhere. We're literally on in every four corners of the planet Earth. This is Deuteronomy. Let me finish this out real quick. This is it says, "And the Lord shall bring thee again into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondwomen, or bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you."
That means that no man is going to redeem you.
Right.
Okay, but how about Shemiah Shai has redeemed the nation of Israel through his blood?
Yeah.
Okay, and it talks about that in Isaiah chapter 52. I believe it's verse 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way we was bought at a price. Okay, and it wasn't by money. All right, it wasn't about buying anything tangible. All right, so how about Shemiah Shai paid our debt with his sacrifice so that we can come into the full repentance,
the atonement,
the atonement, so we can be brought back, in these times, and that's what this Great Awakening and everything was about, bringing back the nation.
Yep.
But you got it on.
Yep, like it says, Ephesians 2:8, like we brought out in class the other day. For by grace, you say by grace are you saved through faith.
Yep.
You know, that grace that scripture is talking about was created by, but like the brother said, Yahweh Shai sacrifice. That's how the wiggle room, the grace period, that's how that was created. You know, that's how the Lord, the Heavenly Father, you know, set it up to play out, where you would have to rely on his on the only begotten Son, man.
On to him.
Yep.
You know?
There's a little bit more, I guess I'll read. It says, let me see where it talks about Vatican. It says the Vatican said Francis died of a stroke that put him into a coma and led to his heart failing. It says, let me see. Let me jump down. Right? Because not only, you know, the date of the death, right, being Easter, basically, essentially, all right, it's also the fact that, you know, the vice president, you know, he did that with the vice president. So this is a big ass ritual, man. This is a big ass left-handed, you know, craft, man. It says he made his last public appearance on Easter Sunday, a day before his death, to bless thousands of people in St. Peter's Square, drawing and cheers and applause. Beforehand, he met U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance.
So like on the 20th, which was Easter, on the 21st, he died, which was the day after Easter. Okay, so Yahweh Shemiah Shai had his day's number, and this is the stupid thing. Okay, in this 2025, the year that we're in, they couldn't resuscitate him in any way. They couldn't give him CPR. Oh no, because this big ass, this nigga done gained shit 200 pounds, you know, sitting down all damn time. You know, that's why the brothers and the elders are going into health. Okay, you can't. So like it, you got it. You know, you know, these things are written. Like everything that's being brought out was written before it happened. Okay, through the laws, you know, through the commandments, through the scriptures.
Yep, the scriptures.
You know, so this is nothing new to us, but to the world, they are gasping at every word that's being uttered. But you got it.
This is Matthew chapter 16. I'm gonna start from the top. This is Matthew chapter 16 and verse 1. It says, the Pharisees also with the Sadducees came and tempting desired him that he would show them a sign from heaven. And that's the spirit that Jake is in. All right. That's the spirit that these scoffers are in. All right. They want, you know, Yahweh Shai to, you know, right. I mean, not even necessarily be crucified again, but just they're waiting on a carnal appearance. They're waiting on something they could actually physically see with their own eyes. But guess what? You're gonna get that. You're gonna get that when Yahweh Shai crack the clouds, man. Right. And by then it's gonna be too late.
And now you got that.
Now I was gonna say it's gonna be straight executing judgment at that point.
Yeah.
You know, that's why faith is not a light thing. Like if you listen to this message, you believe, all right, you have faith in Yahweh Shai, that is a heavy thing.
You can't be delivered.
Yep.
Just off your faith.
All
right.
And your works, you know what I'm saying?
So like,
no, you good.
You know, but what's that? Sirach chapter 6 and verse 32, where here.
No, I can pull that real quick, bro. Because I'm already in 2 Ezra 6.
Like points in verse 34.
Oh, you said Sirach.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Let's pull that real quick. I had 2 Ezra. This is Sirach chapter 6 and verse 32. And it reads, it says, my son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught. And if thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be prudent.
That means that if you would lock into these scriptures.
It says, if thou love to hear, thou shalt receive understanding. And if thou bow thine ear, thou shalt be wise.
You know? Take one more.
Verse 34, stand in the multitude of the elders and cleave unto him that is wise.
So this was a miracle right here. We have elders now that have been out on the highways and byways for 30 years. 30 plus years. I like it. Because they're the ones that are bringing out the word in season, out of season, properly, line upon line, for us to get and to take it and to run with it. Okay? But you would rather want to give alms and give big ups to a man that died, leaving no proper etiquette on the planet.
He don't give a shit about.
He didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he don't give a shit, and he's probably one of them bloodlines. He ain't even.
Yeah.
They saying they trying to make it sound like he Jake.
Nah. Nah, bro. They ain't gonna let Jake be a higher up in nothing that Esau got going. They won't let him.
Like dumb niggas that still think Kamala Harris is black.
Ah, man. Man.
Our people are out of there, man. Can I finish out this Matthew 16?
Yeah,
this is Matthew chapter 16 and verse 2. It says, he answered and said unto them, when it is evening, ye say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red, and in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites. Right, and hypocrite means actor. All right, all you people are actors, man, and that's the thing. You gotta acknowledge that, like when you come into this thing, you gotta like part of being born again is acknowledging, your old offenses. We were really all actors. We were all just playing along, man.
Playing along together.
Yeah, But you niggas though, you 2/3 Jake that have heard the message, all right, and still scoff and turn your back on Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You niggas ain't about you don't stand for anything.
And we still have some of you so-called leaders that are out here still playing the phone.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, beautiful point.
I don't want to, call them by name, but you know who you are.
Yep.
And Yahweh Shem Yahushua has a special place, and a special judgment for you.
Right.
Because you're leading his people astray. And there's going to be a lot of blood on your hands. So,
I'm gonna finish this. It says, "O ye hypocrites, you can discern the face of the sky, but you cannot discern the signs of the times." In this Pope situation, and then the next article, we want to touch on is planetary alignment.
Yeah.
That I want to say is coming up on the 25th.
Yep, the 25th. It says it's supposed to be in the shape of a smiley face, or something like that.
Yep.
But going off the last precept that you just read. How Jake can't understand the signs of the times. With this so-called holy man dying on the day after of his holy day, all right, this shows you that a lot of holy hell is about to unleash, okay? And they've been praying for your downfall this whole time, Jake. All right? They're about to unleash their demons, which are these other nations, and Esau Edom himself to come up against you. Because they know who you are. You don't know who you are. But you guys are so like it.
Yep, this next article is on this website, the timesofIndia.com. It says rare planetary alignment set to create a smiley face in the sky on April 25th. It says early on April 25th, 2025, skywatchers across most of the globe will get a chance to see a rare and intriguing astronomical phenomenon, a triple conjunction. For an all too short period, Venus and Saturn and a slender crescent moon will basically align, will create a perfectly triangular shape. And again, the Lord is not only giving you major political, geopolitical events, giving you economic signs. He's giving you signs in the heavens, man. We had the blood moons, the solar eclipse.
Solar eclipses. Like, what's the last? I've never seen a blue moon. A blue? All right, how about you out shy? It's like, okay, it's almost go time.
Yep.
This shit about to get weird. you saying India times, you the one who brought up Kamala. Y'all shall work. What you guys?
Kind, I was gonna pull this real quick. My laptop is lagging. Let me read this off my phone. Let me see real quick. Select.
No, you good?
My laptop is tripping. This is Matthew chapter 24. Let me get that real quick. This is Matthew chapter 24 and verse. This is
If you ain't got that, I'll
Con.
This is going into what the brother just read about the signs in the heavens. This is Sirach chapter 43. I'm going to start at verse 6. This is going to the moon. It says, he made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of time, okay, and a sign of the world, okay. So even though it's going to be in the shape of a smiley face, the moon is still a part of that to show you the time that we're coming into. It's going to be a happy place for the elect.
Yep, and the triangle is like the letter Da.
Yeah, Da.
And the letter Da is symbolic of a door. You know, and a door, we're about to enter into the next
kingdom,
the next phase. You know, of prophecy.
And that door is Yahweh Shemiyah Shai. All right, so, but you guys,
I found the precept Slakia. I was looking at Matthew. It's in Luke 21:11. It says, and I'm gonna start verse 10. It says, then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and great earthquake shall be in diverse places. And we just had the earthquake in what was it? It wasn't India. It was oh man, it was over there. Not
Indonesia.
It was it might have been in India. It might have been in India. I know it was a strategic location between China and Iran, because Trump just sent those aircraft carriers and that military presence out there. I don't know. I don't want to get the video strike, but I was watching Richie from Boston, and he was breaking down basically how it was basically a heart. It was it was heart. You know, so Esau, he's whipping out that bag.
Because heart sends heat waves up into the ionosphere, so it can come back down and hit the earth. All right, and cause the weather patterns and everything. You know, it's just the sign of the times. That's left-handed power. You know, but it's still Yahweh Shemiyah Shai, and it works.
Yep. I'm gonna finish this out. Luke 21:11. It says, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences, and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. And that's the point right there. Yeah. The Lord has given us a multitude of signs. All right. Not only has He given you signs in the heavens, you got things going on in Israel. Yeah. You got all these camps bugging the hell out.
Man, everybody's bugging out.
Getting exposed. You know, so if you can't see that something major is getting ready to happen here in Babylon the Great, right? It goes without fault saying the whole planet Earth, but specifically here in Babylon the Great, you can't see that the Lord is getting ready to do something major, then we don't know what to tell you, man.
I mean, you can already see that they have already given Ecuador, or I forget the country, the green light to pick up American citizens.
Oh, but they built that mega prison?
Yeah. So yeah. So the signs are getting closer and closer. Those birth pains are about to hit. You know, I just want to say that.
You got anything else?
That's about it.
God. Well, Lord's willing, we just want to touch on that. Lord's willing, this was edifying. That, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, B'Kakodash. Double honors again to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth. And shalom to the next lesson.
Shalom and shalom.